Hyundai i30 review after 175,000 kilometers driven. This review for a Hyundai i30 1.4 petrol from 2009 is based on information from a Hyundai i30 owner who has driven 175,000 kilometers and owned this Hyundai for almost 15 years. We are making this review in the form of an interview so the readers can have information firsthand, as we say, from an owner of a Hyundai i30 who has been driving this Hyundai since 2009 and has driven 175,000 kilometers. The first question, as always, is why the Hyundai i30 over other vehicles with similar price tag in 2009?
Well, at that time in 2009, we were searching for a car who was cheap to buy and cheap to run. We had an amount of money around 12,000 euros, and we wanted a new car, not a used one. The market at that time offered cars like the Kia Ceed, Opel Astra, Ford Focus, Volkswagen Golf, etc. Except for the Hyundai i30 and the Kia Ceed. Other cars I mentioned were a little bit expensive and with less equipment in the base trim level. The tight choice in the end was between the Kia and the Hyundai. Same engine, same chassis, different look, and we decided on the Hyundai i30. Probably the appearance was crucial and the fact that they did not have silver color in Kia. We wanted the car to be silver. Another very important thing in the decision was to get the most equipment, a stronger engine for the least money. Another big reason is the engine. A 1.4 gasoline engine with 109 HP was the strongest among other vehicles at that price range. I know that it's not who knows what, but compared to the 1.4 with 80 horsepower, it's better.
So far, do you have problems, defects, and so on with the Hyundai i30? How are you satisfied with it?
Defects while under warranty were only a broken cable from the driver's door opener and nothing else. After the warranty period, a gas system was installed. The reason for installing a gas system was the price difference between gas and gasoline. Just a few weeks after installing the gas device, the fuel pump burned down. It was my fault because the gasoline level in the tank was below a quarter and the pump overheated and failed. Every 10,000 kilometers regular service for changing filters and all. I've also changed the brake pads, rear shock absorbers, and of course new tires, and I think that's it. I'm very happy that all these years I haven't had any serious problems with the car, and I can say that for this car, in my opinion, you won't need to visit mechanics except for regular services.
Tell us something about the fuel consumption, expenses of owning the car. Is it easy to travel with? Cargo space, driving in town, driving in the motorway, noise on high speed, infotainment system, etc.
Combined fuel consumption is around 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers driving on gas. The average while driving on gasoline was 7.3 liters per 100 kilometers. But considering the higher price of gasoline, it is much more economical to drive on gas. Overall, the vehicle does not have any big costs because the regular service is also cheap. It needs oil a little less than 4 liters and filters. Spark plugs, I think I've had them replaced twice since the vehicle was purchased. For driving in the city it is great. It has large side mirrors and good visibility for parking and reversing. It is not very good for driving on highways. However, it is a lower class car and has poor sound isolation. At speeds above 120 kilometers per hour, you can hear the noise from the wind and also from the engine, so it gets tiring for longer trips. Another very important thing about this Hyundai i30 1.4 petrol is that although there is not much luggage space, the rear seats are surprisingly spacious. For a driver like me, 185 centimeters tall, with the driver's seat positioned as far back as possible. If I move to the back seat behind the driver's seat, I still have enough room for both my knees and my head. The most important thing about the infotainment system for me was that the car has aux and USB ports to connect devices so I can listen to music without buying CS.
Will you recommend the Hyundai i30 1.4 petrol to some potential buyers?
Definitely yes, especially if they want a car that is cheap to maintain, easy to drive, and mostly for short distances. Not that it is not good for longer trips, but still, if you often drive on the highway and on longer distances, you need a bigger vehicle.
Lastly, tell us 3 positive and 3 negative things about the Hyundai i30.
The first thing is reliability. 175,000 kilometers without worries about defects is very important for me. Interior space for drivers and passengers is number 2. Number 3 is the low cost of owning and driving. The first thing is negative I must mention is the trunk space. Maybe because the gas bottle was placed in place of the spare tire, but that was the number 1 thing that bothered me. Now definitely, I need something like the Hyundai Santa Fe. Wind noise while driving at higher speeds is number 2. On some cars like this, for example, it's hard to find negative things that you don't like, so for number 3 I will say the suspension is a little bit firmer.
Thanks for watching. You can like and subscribe for more videos.